Evolve your game and get a $100 bonus. Sign up now at TVG.com.
Here with Ron Palucci, the co-owner of Ria Antonia, the lone filly in the race, and she's making her fourth start, I think, with three different trainers coming into this race. She was with Jeremiah Englehart when she won the Breeders' Cup, and then earlier in the year you moved her to Bob Baffert and most recently to Tom Amoss. Just talk about the decision making and all of that.
Well, it's like any other business. You know, you have to do what's best for your partnership, and you have to do what's best for your filly, and you have to do what's best for yourself. The change from Jeremiah Englehart to Bob Baffert was a really tough one for me. Jeremiah and I had built a bond. I would say we were more friends than business, and any time you're like that, it's a very tough change. First, let me just say, you know, I've put it out there on the record, Jeremiah Englehart was not fired, okay? We after running against Untappable, we really didn't want to face her again in the Fairgrounds Oaks. We wanted to take her back to a track where she had run so well in the Breeders' Cup, and we wanted her to train over that track. And so we tried to get him to go watch her train, be with her during the training, and then come home on the weekends. And it just didn't work for his other clients. And I actually respected that decision. You know, it wasn't that I loved it. You know, I knew I was going to take a lot of heat from the public and people inside of racing, but it was one of those decisions we had to be made. You know, that being said, Bob got her, and she ran lights out in the Santa Anita Oaks. She was against the track. They crawled fraction. She was the widest of any horse. You know, I think she came out of that race in great shape. You know, so the transition from Jeremiah to Bob was a tough one for me, on a personal note. The transition from Bob to Tom has been very easy. Bob Baffert, for a lot of people that don't know him, one of the nicest guys in racing. He's a jokester, but he keeps you informed. You would think, not knowing him, it would be a guy that would call you as an owner, especially since you got one horse with him, every 2 weeks and say, hey, your horse is still walking. You know what I mean? The guy texts you every day. He calls you every day. And when we discussed after the Oaks where we were going to go, Bob kind of wanted to shorten her up a little bit, and I wanted to go to the Preakness. And I think he might have gone to the Preakness, but as everybody knows, probably the guy gets bashed worse than me. If something would happen to this filly in the Preakness, I think that the public would crucify Bob. And I think that had a little bit to do with why he really didn't want to run in the Preakness. Again, though, he did want to shorten her up. But take nothing away from Tom Amoss. You know, he was absolutely the right person for the job. Him and I have horses together, and I think he's one of the top 5 trainers in the country. So you're going from one of the top 2 trainers in the country to one of the top 5 trainers in the country. So, you know, can't ask for a lot more than that.
And he signed off on running her on short rest. She's obviously doing very, very well.
Yeah, she. When I asked Tom about running her in the Preakness, he said, listen, Ron, as long as she looks like she did going into the Kentucky Oaks, and we're going to breeze her, and she comes out of the breeze well and breezes well, you know, let's take a shot, because on numbers and on figures, you know, it is California Chrome and everybody else. So, you know, and that's worth taking a shot. And if it's your dream and you want to do it, as long as she's 100% fit and comes out of her works good, we'll take a shot at it.
All right, best of luck. Ria Antonia looking to become the 6th Preakness winner as a filly.